And unfortunately, just today, I felt compelled to authorize new sanctions on Iran's iron, steel, aluminum, and copper industries. We want a fair deal. We just don't want them to have nuclear weapons. That's all we want.
President Trump there touting new sanctions on Iran last night, just about a day after Tehran said it would step away from the nuclear deal as the State Department accuses Iran of holding the world hostage. I want to bring in Republican Senator John Barrasso, member of the Foreign Relations Committee. Sir, good morning to you. There's a lot of subterfuge in all this story with Iran. What is the truth here? Some would argue they were never in the deal to begin with. What's going on?
Well, the president is absolutely right. Iran with a nuclear weapon would make the world less safe, less stable, less secure. The Iran deal from the Obama administration was a bad deal. It was so bad it never even came to the U.S. Senate for approval and ratification. The president was right to withdraw, and the president is right to add additional sanctions. He's gone after oil so far and now has added steel, aluminum, and other metals.
Okay. Do you think Iran is walking away from this deal, or how would you characterize it then?
Well, the deal was such a bad deal, it did allow Iran the path to a nuclear weapon. I want to prevent Iran from ever getting a nuclear weapon. So whether they complied or not with a bad deal is immaterial. It didn't stop them from getting the path to the weapon to be on that road. The president is right.
Yeah, the Lincoln's headed there, right? I mean, we dispatched that early in the week, so we're watching this relationship very carefully now. The other relationship is what's happening in North Korea. You know, the news overnight, they test-fired 1, maybe 2 short-range missiles yet again there. Now, about a week ago, Chairman Kim met Vladimir Putin in Vladivostok, Russia. Did Putin give encouragement rather to Chairman Kim, do you think?
Well, I don't know what happened in that meeting, but to me it seems like the leader of North Korea is frustrated by his inability to get a deal done with President Trump. President Trump, as you know, rightly walked away from a bad deal with North Korea on his last visit, which is what President Obama should have done with Iran last time. President Trump's not going to take a bad deal. We want to eliminate all the nuclear weapons from the Korean Peninsula. I believe the president is on the right path.
Seems like it's getting sticky yet again. What about this firing of the U.S. ICBM from California last night, only 10 minutes after the North Koreans tested their missile? Do you believe that was, the military has said it's not coordinated? What do you make of this?
Well, the North Koreans will have to make their own decision on that. You know, we have power, we have potential to use it. The president often communicates our willingness to use power, prefers not to, but we have a capacity and a commitment if necessary. The United States continues to be the most powerful, respected nation in the world, and under Donald Trump, we're going to continue that way.
Russia, Iran, North Korea, these are red-hot relations, and I think you know that. Back at home, Bernie Sanders today is going to have an event with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez taking aim at the banking industry, the credit card industry. They're looking for more protection for consumers. At the same time, you got this Medicare for all issue out there. The Washington Post said this about that idea. No matter what Sanders says, there's no Medicare for all without trade-offs. And the conclusion on the piece on the editorial board of the Washington Post is this. He describes a system with practically no trade-offs. Such a system does not exist.
Yeah, I agree with the Washington Post. Look, the Democrats have taken this sharp left turn. They are careening over the liberal cliff, and whether it's the thing today, whether it's the Green New Deal, and now with the Bernie Care, the so-called Medicare for all, to me it's one size fits all health care for America. Let me tell your viewers, you will pay more to wait longer for worse care. And the denial of care, the waiting for care will not just be for the treatments, it will also be for technology. There will be fewer choices, less control, and for people on Medicare, it is the greatest threat to them of all.
Now, you're looking at an election campaign that some would argue is already underway. I think you'd probably agree with that. If the primary voters on the Democratic side go with Bernie Sanders, what does that say about where America is going on this issue, Senator?
Well, Americans, I believe, overwhelmingly are going to reject a one-size-fits-all health care plan.
He did real well 3 years ago.
The people will make a decision. I know what health care is like in foreign countries. As a doctor in Wyoming, I've operated on people in Canada where they have that one-size-fits-all approach. because even though the care was free, the people couldn't afford to wait long enough for the free operation, and they came to me in Wyoming. So I will tell you, Bill, the American people are not going to buy into a one-size-fits-all health care plan when it has to do with them, specifically when it takes away health insurance from 180 million Americans who currently get that insurance through work. And for our 22 million seniors on Medicare Advantage, it takes Medicare Advantage away from them as well. The American people will not buy into what the USA Today called a pipe dream.
Senator, thank you for your time. John
Thanks for having
Barrasso,
me.
a lot to get through, some big issues on the table. Thank you for coming back here.
Thanks, Bill.